Hello and welcome class 9 students in Mission 80. Here I am going to present you an offer which will be beneficial for your academic excellence. I am not giving you the questions from one chapter, rather I will give you important questions from each chapter. So please be conscious and try to practice at home all these question answers, and then you will be able to get your goal. Now without giving useless description about the things, I am going to the subject matter. Which kind of vehicles are mentioned at the beginning of the story, The Lost Child? In the first para of the story, it is mentioned. I am going to give you the clue of the answer, and the answer is that the mentioning of the bullock cart, horse, all these will be the answer. You can create it. Now, question number 2. Why the child was left behind on the way to the fairground? This question also may be asked in such a way: on the way to the fairground, which thing fascinated the boy? So this question may be asked in such a way also. How will you write the answer? Why the child was left behind? Because he was quite attracted to the natural things like butterfly and the natural objects, natural scenario made the boy fascinated, and that's why the child lagged behind. What it proves, and now here it will be the clue of the answer, that it proves the natural instinct of a child, because child is supposed to be attracted by the natural things, and that's why the child here the child is also quite attracted towards the natural object. Now question number 3. What kind of child was he, an obedient or a disobedient? Prove it. Now this question may be a long one, but I will give you the clue of the answer through which you can create answer. How will you prove him as a disobedient or an obedient child? The child demanded the things from the fairground again and again. He demanded the things. He demanded, sometimes he demanded the sweets, sometimes he demanded toys, sometimes he demanded to go to the roundabout. So he demanded lot of things in the fairground, but he didn't get anything from his parents. But he had not repeated his demand, which makes clear that the child was an obedient one. This is the clue. Now come to the fourth question. Here is the fourth question. When did the child father look at the child angrily? Now I am going to give you the clue of this question. When the child demanded the toys which were hanging at the side of the road, the child demanded all those toys, and that's why the father looked at him very angrily. This will be the answer. How did the child lose himself at the beginning of the text? This question also may be asked in such a way: how was the child fascinated by the beauty of the natural objects? This type of question already asked earlier, but the answer will be same. And the clue of the answer is that the child lost himself in the natural objects again and again. Sometimes he had seen the butterflies, sometimes he had seen the flowers, sometimes he wanted to play with the natural objects, sometimes he wanted to play with the dove. So these things prove that he had lost himself in nature, and in this way he lagged behind. Now come to the next question. What was there at the corner of the fairground entrance? Now we will move to the fairground. Now when the parents and the boy, they reached the fairground, what they have seen at first? They have seen at first what? They have seen a person who was selling different kinds of sweets. That is the first thing what the boy had seen. Now next question. At first what did the boy plead to his parents? Did he get it? At first what kind of things the boy pleaded? Before reaching the fairground, the boy demanded for toys. So this is the thing what the boy demanded at first. Did he get it? No, the boy didn't get it. For the second time, what did the boy plead to his parents? For the second time, the boy pleaded for the sweets, but here also he didn't get it. And the first question, now here, before entering into the fairground, what did the boy plead to his parents? This question may be also asked in such a way. Before entering the fairground, the boy demanded for the toys, but he didn't get from his parents. Which things bring water in the mouth of the child? Which that means which thing attracted the boy very much? So here the sweets, the different kinds of sweets and barfi, gulab jamun, all these things attracted the boy very much, but barfi was the favorite thing for the child, so which forced the boy to be attracted very much, and that's why the water comes in his mouth. Next question. In the fairground, which thing attracted the boy at first? In the fairground. Now this question also may be asked in such a way, but the answer will be same. The gulab jamun or different kinds of sweets attracted the boy very much in the fairground at first. Now come to the second page. Which event proved that the child was not a greedy one? Now the same question what I asked you earlier regarding greediness. Was he kind of disobedient or a kind of obedient student, or you can say child? Was he? The same kind of question is here. Which event proved that the child was not a greedy one? Which event? Because when he demanded the toy, he knew it very well that he will not get the toys from his parents, and that's why he didn't request the thing again and again. These things proves that he was not a greedy one. What kind of sweets are mentioned in the text? So different kinds of names of sweets are mentioned. You can go through the text and you can collect the names of the sweets. What would be reply of the parents if the child demanded a garland of gulmohar for several times? So what would be if the child did not demanded garland of gulmohar for several times, if he demanded, what would be the reply of the parents? The parent would reply that these were quite cheap. For the first time, the child met with whom in the fairground? For the first time, met with whom? The child met with the person who was selling the different kinds of sweets. For the second time, the child met with whom in the fairground? For the second time, the child met with whom? Here it is the clue. Here is the clue of the answer, that he met with the person who was selling flowers. For the third time, the child met with whom in the fairground? For the third time, with whom the child met with a person, that means who was a snake charmer, and he wanted to have or listen the sweet music of the snake charmer, but it was not supposed to listen as far as his parents opinion are concerned. So that's why he didn't go there. What kind of overwhelming desire comes in the heart of the child when he had seen the colorful balloons in the fairground? So what kind of overwhelming thought or desire comes in the mind of the child? What kind of? Actually, he wanted to have all those balloons. This kind of overwhelming thoughts comes into the mind of the child. What parents would say if the child irresistibly demanded the balloon? So what the parents would say? The parents would say that this is not the time to play with the things like balloon and the toys. Now come to the next question. For the fourth time, the child met with whom in the fairground? Now if you will go through the text, you will get the complete answer with whom the child met with for the first time. Why did the child did not go too close to the snake charmer? What happened after? So what happened after? When he was not supposed to go too close to the snake charmer, he didn't go there because he knew it very well that his parents would not allow him to go too close to the snake charmer. That's why he left the intention to go there, and after that what he had done, he had gone to the roundabout. Where did the child make a bold request and when? The child made a kind of bold request when he reached very close to the roundabout. Why was his request fulfilled? No, this time also his request was not fulfilled. Where did the child lose himself? Now here, why physically the child lost himself? Where? When he was very close to the roundabout, when he wanted to have a round in the roundabout. Describe for earthly things changes according to the situation. Prove it with special reference to the story of the lost child. Now here it will be a kind of long question. You have to prove the desire of every person changes according to the situation. Now in this way you have to write the answer. I am going to give you the clue that the child demanded lot of things from his parents at the beginning when they were his parents, but when he had lost himself, his demand changes. The man who rescued him, he wanted to give the child lot of things, the demand which he had at a time. Now the man was going to give him, but he didn't accept all those demands. His demand completely changed. Now he wanted to have his father and mother. In this way you will prove that the demand changes according to the situation. Write down the reaction of the child when he had lost himself in the fairground. Now here it is a complete description. After losing himself, the child started crying and started running here and there. This sort of things you may write in answer. What did the boy demand after losing of his parents? Now what the boy demanded? Did he demand the different kinds of earthly things, or did he demand for his parents? You know it very well. After losing himself, the boy didn't demand any kind of earthly things, rather he demanded his parents. What would happen